December 6th here in southern Ontario, Canada. Week 4 of the inquiry into the Emergencies Act, enactment thereof. It finally got interesting because finally, who was supposed to be there, the whole point of the matter, the government was there. That's right, Trudeau and his regime were there. Now, I'm not going to run through who said what and what order of transpiration and blah, blah, blah. It's not really necessary. It showed a couple of things. One was everybody who was there, whether it was, the Minister of Public Safety, Marco Pinocchio Mendicino, or drunken Bill Blair, or what's her name from the WEF, or Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, or Trudeau himself. It was obvious they had not watched any of the previous proceedings because they stuck to the same talking points that they've been talking about for almost a year. Violence, Russian funding, all the police begging for more powers, bigger tools. All of that had been disproved long before getting to the trial, if you want to call it that. And obviously they weren't watching because CSIS, that's like our Canadian equivalent of the CIA, our RCMP, equivalent of the American FBI, police forces, provincially, municipally, everyone who testified previous to the government cabinet members coming up had all clearly stated they had not asked for this, and in fact, the great majority of them had advised against it. So all week long, we listened to, the government lawyers ask, say, the public safety minister, Marco Pinocchio there, well, the police asked for, yeah, okay. So CBC had some headlines to run anyways. They're the propaganda department of the government. And then the convoy lawyers had to come up and explain to all these clowns, all these cabinet members, no, we already know, here's the testimony, here's the call it up on the screen, here's the. So at the end of it all, it comes down to Trudeau. And he does the same thing. Like, he hasn't been paying any mind to what's going on. He starts off on the same, well, they were begging for it. No, they weren't. So finally, when he's painted into a corner and can't lie his way out of it anymore, he goes, well, I had a different standard. My job falls on me to protect the public and to make the decisions. Well, I mean, myself and my cabinet to make the decisions to protect the public. So we just ignored everybody else, and I made my own call. Well, I mean, my cabinet and I, we had a different standard than everybody else. And yeah, that's it. And then he went off into a monologue about how everybody's got to participate, and it turned into a Pfizer commercial, but then whatever. So then somebody said, well, hey, okay, so the bottom line after all this, after a month, is you didn't care what anybody else said. You made your own call. Well, me and my cabinet. Oh, okay, well, so that's the bottom line. You and your cabinet decided you knew better than everybody else put together. Yep, that's right. Okay, well, how do you justify that then? Cabinet confidentiality. That's it. End of story.